Now you start this design with 2 parallel lines and you come up to begin with in between those 2 lines. Then you go to the bottom row and do a simple right to left stitch. Then you go to the top row and do a right to left stitch. Now you want your needle to come up exactly opposite where you went down on the bottom line. It gives it a nice even look. Now herringbone gives a really nice sort of woven over under look, and it looks a lot more complicated than it is, which is another thing I really like about this design. So you take your second colour and you come up just on the left hand side of that half stitch that you've done and then loop it over. And then you come to the crisscross and keeping your needle parallel with the lines, just bring it through. And then keeping it parallel again, just bring it round. It's fairly stable. It doesn't tend to move once you've done it. Now the threaded herringbone look can be as simple or as complicated as you like. You can do a lot more loops in different directions and it can get very fiddly, but I think this is quite a nice striking design that still keeps things quite simple. And then to finish off, you just come under there and over the last half stitch that you've done, just to pin it down. So you start double herringbone exactly as you did with the single herringbone. You come up in the centre of those 2 parallel lines, go to the bottom, do your right to left stitch. Now with single herringbone, you would have gone straight over that stitch up to the top, but what you want to do with double herringbone is go under that stitch and then up to the top. Then when you come back down, just go straight over that stitch down to the bottom. And then when you go up, go under that stitch and up to the top. So you'll actually have all of the stitches facing right will be under, and all the stitches facing left will be over. Now the reason why you do that is because when you bring in your second colour later on, you will then have the proper herringbone lattice look of over, under. If you were to do it like single herringbone, then you wouldn't get the same effect and it would look a little bit strange. Now this is where you need to start paying a little bit of attention to where you're going. So you're going to start off in the centre again, but you're going to go up to the top line doing a right to left stitch. And then you're going to go over your yellow and under the red. Pull it through, go down the same hole as the one below it and up through the other hole on that side, on the left hand side. It gives it a nice uniform look. Now with your up stitches, you want to go under your yellow and over the red. And then down those same holes again. On the down stitches, you're going to go over your yellow and under the red. Down those holes, bring it up. And again with the up stitch, you go under your yellow and over your red. And remember, your stitches are always right to left. Now it is worth noting with herringbone stitches that you don't actually need to pull them really tight. They do look a little bit nicer when it's slightly looser, and it also makes it easier for you to weave your needle through. Also, normally when I do this, I wouldn't use a big fat Sharpie to make the parallel lines. However, again, it's just easier for people to see. Now, the reason why I've not just done 4 stitches to demonstrate is because getting your head around the sort of over-under thing can get a little bit tricky sometimes. I remember the first time I did this, it did take me a little while to work it out, and I had to watch the videos a couple of times. So that's why I've not just done the standard 4 stitch to demonstrate. I've done a few more. If you're getting a little bit bored, you can skip forward to the end. And there it is, 2 simple but really striking designs using herringbone stitch.